The week is upon us, the release of the all-anticipated Final Fantasy VII Remake. I should clarify part 1 because this is not the entirety of the experience. It will be a multi-part series. However, the reviews for part 1 are in and they are looking very, very strong as of the recording of this video. I want to go over all of the reviews, give you guys my opinion on the game leading up to its release, why this is such an important release, and everything in between. But first of all, I know you guys are interested to hear what the reviews are. I want to go on Metacritic and read some of the reviews. Again, they're looking very strong. Currently, the Metascore is an 87, so I would say that is very, very good, especially for a Square Enix JRPG and a Final Fantasy game. We know that sometimes they are a little bit of a mixed bag, but the majority of the reviews for this one are super positive. And the majority of the reviews, I should say, are very, very positive. There are a few reviews that are lesser in score, but it's a lot of like 6s and 7s weighing down that average, and you do see a lot of scores north of a 90, so I do want to go over that. And right away, GameSpot gave the Final Fantasy VII Remake an all-elusive 10. Now, it is interesting because GameSpot 10s are very rare. However, in the last week, they've actually given out 2 with the Persona 5 Royal, as well as now the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Interestingly enough, both of them being JRPGs. GameSpot noted, regardless of your history with the original game, Final Fantasy VII Remake is an astounding achievement. The wait for its release was a long one, but in gameplay, story, characters, and music, it delivers. The wait was worth it. For first-time players, it's an opportunity to understand why Final Fantasy VII is held in such high regard. It's the chance to experience a multifaceted story that grapples with complex subject matters, be in the company of memorable characters, and be moved by their plight. For returning fans, this isn't the Final Fantasy VII your mind remembers, it's the one your heart always knew it to be. And you're gonna notice a reoccurring trend with all of these reviews. They're hinting at these changes being implemented not only to the gameplay and everything like that, but there are definitely story changes, and you can come to the conclusion based on all of these reviews and their description. Obviously, I would recommend you guys not to spoil yourself, especially if you're going into this game with the memories of Final Fantasy VII, so you can compare and contrast and you can notice immediate changes right away. For somebody going into this game for the first time and experiencing Final Fantasy VII for the first time, well, it's going to be your first time with the game, and obviously at that point you don't want to spoil the story because, hey, the story of Final Fantasy VII is one of the main reasons to play the game, even if there are changes being made. Final Fantasy is always built on its story, and a big part of the game's draw is really the story. That's why I wasn't such a big fan of Final Fantasy 15. But nonetheless, the 6th Axis also gave the game a perfect score, saying an utter joy to play from start to finish, packed with memorable scenes, mustache-twirling baddies, and epic battles. The first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't just polished, it is opulent. GameSpot gave it a perfect score as well. Final Fantasy VII Remake is the best JRPG from Square Enix since Final Fantasy VII. That is high praise, given that we've had Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X, Nier Automata. I don't know if they want to consider Nier Automata a JRPG from Square since Platinum developed it, but still, that is very high praise. It takes a classic, carefully built on it, and although certain changes made to the story may not be as well received by all players, overall, there's no denying that it's a massive success. So right away, when they're saying changes made to the story may not be as well received by all players, to me that immediately screams that has to be a significant change. If it's not going to be well received, a minor change here or there, that is what it is. If it's a significant change, well, that's something that has the potential to not be well received by players. And we've seen Square Enix in the past. They like to be a little bit tricky. They like to go a little bit off the wall. And I don't know what this is alluding to, but that definitely has at least piqued my interest. It's definitely gonna be something that upsets a lot of people, but nonetheless, Digitally Downloaded gave it a perfect score as well. Perhaps the best way that I can describe just how much I've appreciated Final Fantasy VII Remake is this. The original Final Fantasy VII was my least favorite in the series. That is a hot take right there, but after playing the remake on a whim, I loaded up the original game. Within the first couple of hours, I was already so much more invested in this time around. Being able to visualize the action of the original through the lens that the remake has provided me has made the game more vibrant, interesting, and emotionally engaging. I don't necessarily see FF7 Remake as a replacement to the original game, as remakes generally are. It's a complement to it, where the developers have built on the world and characters in such a way that it's like two sides of a single coin. For me, at least, without one, the other doesn't exist. Making me love the original Final Fantasy VII is something I never thought Square Enix would achieve, but we do live in the strangest times. Again, I feel like that's what these reviewers are trying to do. They're trying to dance around the idea of this change or the changes because they don't want to give out spoilers, but I can read between the words and I can read between sentences and things like that, and it does sound like there are changes, maybe more so than we had initially expected, but that is once again just speculation on my part. WCCF Tech, on the other hand, gave it a 9.25, saying Final Fantasy VII Remake is a masterful modernization of the series' classic formula. The game is an extremely solid JRPG that looks sound and plays great, despite some pacing issues and linearity. That said, the unexpected story twist may sour the experience a bit for those who expected a faithful remake. So right there, WCCF Tech giving us the insight on that. There are going to be some plot twists and there are going to be some changes, and if you are completely faithful to the original game and you didn't want any changes, you might be a little bit disappointed. I'll give you guys my opinion on that at the end. I just want to go through a couple more reviews. Game Informer gave it an 8.75, saying this remake of a legendary RPG finds an impressive equilibrium between its past and present, crafting a distinctive world and exciting combat system that feels modern as well. A lot of other reviews are posted. IGN gave it an 8, and I do want to go over one of the lesser scores. US Gamer gave it a 7 out of 10, saying Final Fantasy VII Remake sets out to fully reimagine a classic RPG with improved combat and an expanded story. Unfortunately, it's hurt by weak side quests and a surplus of padding, and its biggest change is bound to be controversial. It's one of the most coherent and enjoyable Final Fantasy releases in years, but it's also likely to be one of the most divisive. So yes, if there's a significant change being made, I imagine that would divide a lot of people. I don't have any words to say on whatever this change is. The fact that it is becoming abundantly clear that changes are being implemented, look, you can think one way or the other. For me, my personal opinion, leading up to the release of this game, I am a hell of a lot more excited now. Sometimes I like a good train wreck, and it doesn't look like this is even a train wreck, but even if to me the changes embody a train wreck, hey, to me that's kind of exciting, but that's a personal opinion. For those of you that have been super looking forward to this game and you wanted a complete, faithful remake, the reviews might be a little bit upsetting too, because it's become evident that changes are being implemented. And to what extent, based on these words that are being put out in this review, again, I have not read the spoilers yet and everything like that. I know they're out there, but I'm trying to stay away from them. It sounds like they're pretty significant if they are going to create for a very divisive experience, if they are going to be controversial to some people, and immediately that might turn off a lot of people. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section. What are you making of all of this? Does this get you even more excited? Does this get you less excited? Are you somewhere in between? Are you going to be at a wait and see phase? Because I think for a lot of people, it is going to be wait and see. However, I'm even more excited in the sense that I want to see what this game has to offer. I was already incredibly excited for Final Fantasy VII, but after playing the demo, I knew what the combat was about, and I knew what generally the story was going to be, but now I know that, okay, I'm in for something here. I don't know exactly what in terms of if I'm going to like it, but I am in for something, and that is always something that's gonna get me excited. The unknown. Now there's this air of unknown to the game, and man, I am hyped up to play it. And I think this gives us a lot of credibility and gives us a lot of understanding why Square Enix put out that tweet that some people were gonna get the game early with everything going on, that they begged people, no spoilers, do not post spoilers online. Obviously, everyone was not going to adhere to that, but Square Enix went above and beyond and be like, hey, we know some of you guys are going to get the game early, please be cool to everyone and not spoil the game. I think now we know why they made that statement, because at the end of the day, if it was a one-to-one recreation without any major changes, yes, spoilers would suck, but it would still not be the biggest deal in the world. I think Square Enix is of the mindset, okay, we want everyone to have a very fresh experience. Let's not have it spoiled online everywhere, and I think that's what they were going for. Super excited for it. I want to hear what you guys think. Definitely sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Preloads are live right now. Some people are going to be worried. Some people are going to be like me, where they're even more excited, but I'm interested to hear from you guys, so sound off in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.